Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from two important newspapers, that is the Hindu and Indian Express. So the most important news and editorial of the day would be discussed in this session. Let's get started with today's topic list. Today is 17th of December. The first topic is IMF suggests regulation that is required for the cryptocurrency. We'll see what the IMF chief has to say in terms of regulation of cryptocurrency. Second, NCERT reviewing syllabus to reduce the load on student amid the COVID-19 and the online classes. The actual interaction between the teachers and student was not there, and that has created a lot more vacuum in terms of learning and understanding the concepts. Third, resident doctors to go on nationwide stir today. We'll see what are the issues why the doctor are protesting. The second last is Omicron slow to infect lungs, say the study. This was a study which was conducted by University of Singapore. We'll understand, basically it was done by Hong Kong. We'll see that how it actually affect the lungs and what are the repercussions and consequences of Omicron. The last is an editorial addressing the cross-border insolvency. So today's editorial is from Indian Express. It talks about how the insolvency in terms of cross-border can have a resolutions. Apart from this, at the end of this video, there would be some MCQ based questions. These questions would be based on current affairs, solely on current affair, so that you can revise whatever news that has appeared in the last basically 10 to 12 months, right? So this is all about the today's topic list. Let's get started. And those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video helpful, do not forget to press a like button. So the first news of the day, that is IMF suggestion regulation needed for cryptocurrency. This is something which is important for General Studies paper 3. Inclusive growth and issues arising from it. So Geeta Gopinath, she is a chief economic advisor to IMF International Monetary Fund, और उन्होंने कुछ अपनी ओपिनियन दी है in terms of regulation of cryptocurrency, and she has also highlighted how this cryptocurrency is very crucial for any country, considering the fact that it is mostly an overseas market. Emerging market में इसकी dominance काफ़ी ज़्यादा है. क्या इंडिया में रेगुलेशन बनाने के बावजूद भी इसको रेगुलेट किया जा सकता है? What are the repercussions that India can see in terms of formulating a law, and if not formulating a law, we'll understand that also. So the International Monetary Fund chief economist, that is Geeta Gopinath, she has made a strong case for regulating the cryptocurrency, stating that it always be a challenge to ban cryptocurrency, right? तो इन्होंने सपोर्ट की भी बात नहीं की है, बट इन्होंने हाईलाइट किया कि अगर क्रिप्टो करेंसी को बैन की जाए, इट वुड बी क्रिएटिंग अ लॉट मोर चैलेंज एज दे ऑपरेट फ्रॉम ऑफशोर एक्सचेंजेस, राइट? इट इज नॉट समथिंग which is entirely done in India. It is done from other countries as well, right? और एक basically offshore exchange है पूरी, तो जो ambience बनती है उसके लिए the regulation has to come from each and every country. तो एक global regulation की ज़रूरत है instead of a domestic regulation. This particular topic is also important for your mains paper. Make sure आप mains से related इसमें जो भी important content है उसको note down कर ले, because you can expect a question on the regulation of cryptocurrencies. So the chief economist has also suggested that a global policy is required. This is what I was talking about. Global policy and coordinated action is required for regulating the cryptocurrency. Each and every country has their own set of norms and rules, but to ensure कि जो ऑफशोर एक्सचेंज हो रही है क्रिप्टो करेंसी की और उसके जो चैलेंजेस है उसको कंट्रोल करने के लिए ग्लोबल पॉलिसी की जरूरत है. सो इफ यू आर राइटिंग दिस इन मेंस पेपर, हाईलाइट दिस दैट ग्लोबल पॉलिसी एंड कोऑर्डिनेटेड एक्शन is something which is inevitable in terms of regulating the cryptocurrency in the world. Now, some recommendations that was given by the IMF. So they call for an urgent need for a cross-border collaborations and cooperations to address technological, legal, regulatory, supervisory challenges associated with the adaptations of cryptocurrency, right? We cannot only see cryptocurrency as a virtual mode or mode of trading. It has a lot of issues involved. First is a technology, right? There's a cyber security. There's a concern regarding the safety of the currency, virtual currency that is there. the legality of that in terms of many other countries that would be involved, and regulatory and supervisory. Although अगर बात करें इंडिया में, Reserve Bank of India is going to have the supervisory role of crypto in India. But although this is a fact that many other countries would also be doing it by their central bank. हर एक कंट्री की अपनी सेंट्रल बैंक है, वो उसके थ्रू उसको रेगुलेट करेंगे, राइट? सो एसेंशियली अगर ये एक ब्रॉडर लेवल पे, अगर ग्लोबल लेवल पे इस तीनों चीज़ों पे काम की जाए, तो वी कैन बी रेस्ट अश्योर्ड दैट यस, in due course of time, this cryptocurrency can be a hassle free for each and every citizen for the country, right? Not only for India but for abroad as well. Now awaited cryptocurrency bill जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने कहा था अपने विंटर सेशन में, सो दे एक्चुअली हाईलाइटेड, बट यहाँ पे ये एक्सपर्ट्स का कहना है दैट इज अनलाइकली that this bit would be tabled in the winter session of the parliament, although there are more other important bill that has to be passed, and the bill was listed in the government legislative businesses in the winter session. So we have to see whether the government would be coming up at the end of this winter session, or they would facilitate the framework for the creations of official digital currency that has to be issued by the Reserve Bank of India. रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया ने पूरी कॉशंस ली हुई है in terms of having a digital currency in our country, but they also want to ensure they want a legal backing only when the RBI has its all super power to regulate it, right? तो जब तक गवर्नमेंट इसको जो ऑफिशियल डिजिटल करेंसी एंड रेगुलेशन ऑफ क्रिप्टो करेंसी बिल है उसको पास नहीं करती है, RBI would have no role to play in it, right? And currently there are no particular regulations or any ban in the use of cryptocurrency in our country, although the government has not legalized it, but इसको बैंड भी नहीं किया गया. बहुत ऐसे लोग हैं जिन्होंने कई ज़्यादा अमाउंट इन्वेस्ट किए हुए हैं क्रिप्टो करेंसीज में. उसकी एक छोटी सी फॉर्मेट है, उसके जो सब पार्ट्स है लाइक बिटकॉइंस में भी इन्वेस्टमेंट काफ़ी ज़्यादा है. Now NCERT reviewing syllabus to reduce load on student. This is something important for General Studies paper 2. Issues related to development and management of education as well as human resources. So National Council for Education Research and Training NCERT ने कहा है कि वो जो सिलेबस और टेक्स्ट बुक है उसकी रिव्यू करेंगे. जो करिकुलम है बच्चों को दी जा रही है नेक्स्ट ईयर के, उसके लेंथ को चैप्टर्स को कम किया जाएगा, so that whatever problem the student have faced, the learning problem they have faced, that can have a resolution. उसके सिलेबस को रिड्यूस करके जो ऐसे चैप्टर्स इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है उसको कम कर दी जाएगी बच्चों के करिकुलम से, राइट? To ensure that the learning which has been hit by the COVID-19 can be compensated. The NCERT has carried out 2 such review exercises. 2014 में भी इन्होंने इस तरह के एक्सरसाइजेस किए थे, कुछ चैप्टर्स क्लास 10th और 9 के भी रिडक्शन किए गए थे. During the pandemic, across the grades, there's a struggle a lot, although learning were through online other modes, but still the virtual interaction is not that great, right? Once you are in classroom, that interaction is pretty different. In terms of adolescence, adult age में ऑनलाइन क्लासेस की बहुत हद तक इम्पॉर्टेंस है. अभी आप देखो जितनी भी प्रोफेशनल कोर्सेज है, चाहे वो अपग्रेड हो या फिर और भी किसी प्लेटफॉर्म पे हो, वो ऑनलाइन MBA वगैरह भी करवा रहे हैं, बट दैट इज एट अ मैच्योर लेवल. अगर आप एडोलेसेंस एज में बच्चों की 6 से लेकर के 12 तक की बात करें, इट क्रिएट अ प्रॉब्लम फॉर द स्टूडेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड and recollect what the teacher is saying. Now, the same was observed by the Parliamentary Standing Committee. It was not only the NCERT that observed it. Parliamentary Standing Committee ने भी ये बातों को highlight किया है. And even the National Education Policy 2020 also called for the changes in the pattern and curriculum as well as some textbook, right? Now, National Curriculum Framework की अगर बात करें, the government is in process of framing the National Curriculum Framework. The development of new textbook may take some time to out, right? अभी इस पे काम चल रही है, देखना होगा किस तरह की जो नई बुक आती है उसमें क्या क्या चेंजेस अमेंडमेंट किए जाते हैं. The National Education Policy 2020 states that reductions in the content and increase in the flexibility of school curriculum. So we'll see how this actually functions, and this would be something pivotal for the student for the next academic year, that what they're actually learning. And the policy called for renewed emphasis on constructive rather than a rote learning. So we want to promote skill learning, not a rote learning for our student, for our future generation, because ये काफ़ी ज़रूरी है कि बच्चे सीखें, ना कि वो सिर्फ rote learning करके अपने एग्जामिनेशन को पास करें, right? Resident doctor to go on nationwide stir today. Basically, this is a decision that was taken by the doctors group. This is a federation called as Federation for Resident Doctor Association. इसको FORDA भी कहते हैं. FORDA, right? So this is important for general studies paper to government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors. The Federation of Resident Doctor Association, in a letter to health ministries, they have said that they would be withdrawing from all services, जिसमें कि emergency services भी included होगी. जो resident doctor है वो protest कर रहे हैं across the Delhi. Basically ये अभी तक तो जितने federations की जहाँ तक ये federation काम कर रही है वहाँ के doctors पूरे healthcare institutions में protest कर रहे हैं, including the emergency services. So what is the demand? Why this doctor are protesting? So doctor are demanding the expeditions of इन नीट पीजी के 2021 के जो काउंसलिंग है, जो एडमिशंस है, जो कोविड की वजह से डिले हुए हैं, इवन फॉर मेनी अदर रीजन इट वाज डिलेड. द केसेस इज आल्सो पेंडिंग इन सुप्रीम कोर्ट बिकॉज ऑफ द क्रीमी लेयर और रिजर्वेशन की बातों को लेकर के. सो दे वांट दैट काउंसलिंग शुड बी डन एट द अर्लीस्ट बिकॉज इट विल क्रिएट, इफ दिस एडमिशन इज नॉट डन इन टाइम, वो एक मैन फोर्स की वैक्यूम क्रिएट करेगी जो कि और डॉक्टर्स के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा परेशानी कर सकती है. सो द ओवरबर्डन एंड एग्जॉस्टेड रेजिडेंट डॉक्टर एट द नेशनल लेवल हैज़ बिन प्रोटेस्टिंग सिंस नवंबर 2021 और उन्होंने कहा है कि मल्टीपल टाइम्स जो नीट पीजी जो पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट है नेशनल एलिजिबिलिटी का एंट्रेंस टेस्ट के लिए जो काउंसलिंग है वो अभी तक नहीं की गई है और फ्रेश बैचेस ऑफ रेजिडेंट डॉक्टर को करंट एकेडमिक सेशंस में इनरोल नहीं किया गया है. If it is being more delayed, it will create more problem to the doctor who are actually functioning at this point of time. So the counseling process has been delayed repeatedly following the cases from the Supreme Court over the reservation of economically and weaker section of the society. So this picture will give you a clarity about the shortage of doctor in India. These are the left hand side. So the picture, the clarity about the best doctor, the ratio of doctors in India. This is the worst performance state. If we talk about Tamil Nadu, people per doctor, हर एक डॉक्टर पे कितने लोग हैं, right? In Tamil Nadu for 253 there is one doctor. In Delhi for 334 there is one doctor. इस तरह से रेशियो हर स्टेट की परफॉर्मेंस वाइज की गई है. एंड इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द वर्स्ट परफॉर्मेंस, झारखंड में 8180 लोगों पे सिर्फ एक डॉक्टर है, हरियाणा पे 6037 पे एक डॉक्टर, राइट? So this is the complete analysis that was released, and you have to note that the Andhra has a ratio of 1.689, but this is misleading because Telangana doctor continue to be registered in Andhra Pradesh, right? And globally अगर बात करें how the pandemic and how prepared we are, तो India versus कुछ और दूसरे OECD countries की बात करें, in India per doctor per 1000 people पे कितने डॉक्टर है? This is 0.8. पूरी कंट्री की बात की जा रही है. चाइना में हर 1000 पीपल पे 2 डॉक्टर्स हैं, यूएस पे हर 1000 पीपल पे 2.6 डॉक्टर, इन यूके इट्स 2.9 एंड द हाईएस्ट इज अमंग जर्मनी व्हिच हैज 4.3 डॉक्टर्स पर 1000 पीपल, राइट? सो दिस इज समथिंग इंपॉर्टेंट. एक इस तरह के इनसाइट्स अगर आप बेंच में लिखते हैं तो आप ये पॉइंट इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं. Omicron slow to infect lungs, say the study. This was a study which was conducted by the Hong Kong University. Something which is important for general studies paper 2, issues related to development and management of health. So according to the latest study that was done by the researchers from the LKS Faculty of Medicine at University of Hong Kong, इन्होंने बताया है जो ओमिक्रॉन वेरिएंट है, जो नई वेरिएंट है जिसको वेरिएंट ऑफ कंसर्न भी कहा गया है WHO के द्वारा. So WHO has said that this Omicron is a variant of concern and it infects and multiply faster than the Delta variant. जो Delta variant है उससे काफ़ी faster ये ग्रो करती है, बट अगर बात की जाए इसके लिथैलिटी की एंड इवन जो इसके इम्पैक्ट है वो लोअर है कंपेयर टू द डेल्टा वेरिएंट, राइट? द स्टडी फाउंड दैट इट डज नॉट ईजिली इफेक्ट आर लोअर लंग्स. जो हमारे लंग्स है, लोअर लंग्स है, उनको बहुत जल्दी इफेक्ट नहीं करती है, इससे ज़्यादा इफेक्ट करती थी डेल्टा वेरिएंट, राइट? लंग टिश्यूज इन्वेस्टिगेशन की गई, इसमें कुछ फाइंडिंग्स जो आई हैं दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड. So the scientists have used the lung tissue to investigate the viral disease of a respiratory tract. what they found that after isolation of Omicron variant, it used to compare the infection, जहाँ पे साफ के जो पुराने वेरिएंट है COV-2, in 2020 the Delta variant of the Omicron variant, and it found that the Omicron replicate 70 times faster. जो ओमिक्रॉन वायरस है, जो नई वेरिएंट है, वो रेप्लिकेट करती है 70 टाइम्स मोर कंपेयर टू the previous one, that is the Delta variant. But when it come to the lethality, उसकी जो original lethality है वो उससे काफ़ी कम है पुराने वाले Delta variant से. So Delta variant is still has a higher in terms of creating problem to our lungs. In contrast, Omicron variant replicate less efficiently, 10 times in the lungs and tissues than original compared to the SARS-CoV-2 जो मैंने आपको यहाँ पे बताया हुआ है. And it is important to note that the severity of disease is not determined by virus, it replicate, but it's also by the host immune system. हर एक individual की किस तरह की immune response है वो भी काफ़ी important होती है to understand the fact that how the virus is going to infect particular organism और उसके जो body parts हैं उनको भी. So this is the image of lung. You can see this is a right lung, this is the left lung. जितनी भी problems होती है ये mid से interior lobe के अंदर करती हैं, and even the cardiac notch and internal lobe or inferior lobe is being impacted. You can see this is a trachea, and I'm not getting into detail of this. We're not concerned about that, but थोड़ा basic आपको पता होना चाहिए कि किस तरह से lower lungs में ये infect करती है. Addressing cross-border insolvency. This is something important for General Studies Paper 3. Indian economy and issues related to planning, mobilization, resource growth and development. So let's directly jump into the editorial part. So cross-border insolvency की बात की गई है, एक situation where insolvent debtors जो हैं, they have the assets or creditor in more than one countries. तो उस केस में किस तरह की rules and regulation की जरूरत है, so that the person, the debitor who is insolvent, how he can have a resolutions to his problem. So in order to devise a mechanism to handle such cases, जो cross border insolvency है, उसके लिए एक particular rules है United Nations की, United Nations Commission on International Trade Law that proposed for unilateral model laws on cross border insolvency. How effective it is, how much resolution has been given by this, we'll understand this as well. So UN साइट्रल की अगर बात करें, दिस मॉडल लॉज ऑन क्रॉस बॉर्डर इंसॉल्वेंसी ये प्रपोज की गई थी 1997 में, एंड 13th सेशन ऑफ दिस इन वियना. जो मॉडल लॉ है दैट हैज सिंस इमर्ज्ड एज द मोस्ट वाइडली एक्सेप्टेड लीगल फ्रेमवर्क. अभी तक यही एक लीगल फ्रेमवर्क है जहाँ पे क्रॉस बॉर्डर इंसॉल्वेंसीज के इश्यूज को रिजॉल्व की जाती है बाय द कंट्रीज कंसर्न, और जिन कंट्रीज के खिलाफ उनको शूट करनी है या फिर जहाँ भी उसके जो डिफॉल्टर्स है वो वहाँ बैठे हुए, राइट. And it is a provisions that allow insolvency courts and officials to access to the domestic court of that particular country. It also provides for the recognitions of order judgment that was passed by the insolvency court located in the foreign jurisdiction. तो आप कोई भी examples ले लें, जिस तरह से माल्या की केस है, even नीरव मोदी. So this is how the things work. जो model law on cross border insolvencies है उनको भी खत्म करने में इस तरह के rules की applicability की जाती है. Now the model law till date has been adopted by 49 countries. India's version of model law की अगर बात करें, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर ने एक इनवाइटीज रिलीज की थी. दे प्रपोज अ वर्जन ऑफ मॉडल लॉ. सो द ड्राफ्ट रूल वाज फर्स्ट रिलीज इन अक्टूबर 2018 बाय द इंसॉल्वेंसी लॉ कमिटी. बट 2020 में इसमें कुछ ये देखने में आई कि एमसीए के जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस थी, जो जिन्होंने क्रॉस बॉर्डर इंसॉल्वेंसी रूल्स बनाई थी, दे रिकमेंडेड फॉर द ड्राफ्ट रूल, बट द एक्सटेंडेड इंसॉल्वेंसी प्रोसीडिंग ऑफ द जेट एयरवेज एंड वीडियोकॉन ग्रुप, जो दो कंपनीज है जिन्होंने एसेट्स क्लेम किए थे आउटसाइड द इंडिया, दे हैव हाईलाइटेड टू इनैक्ट दिस लॉ, राइट. बट अगेन ये बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस हैं, जो ग्लोबल प्रैक्टिसेस हैं, उनके थ्रू इंडिया ने अपने मॉडल लॉज बनाए हैं. But still, we don't have got any proper resolution in terms of adopting this law. We can expect that yes, जितनी भी और countries है जिन्होंने इसको adopt किया है, if they have a global consensus to ensuring that this model law has to be recognized, then India would be definitely can benefited from this, right? Draft proposed framework की अगर बात करें, this legal framework proposed by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs is a step in the right direction. We can say that, but still it is प्रोवाइडेड फॉर एंटरिंग इनटू द बायलैटरल एग्रीमेंट, जहाँ पे कंट्रीज रिकॉग्नाइज करेगी अपने इंसॉल्वेंसी के प्रोसीडिंग्स को ऑन अ रेसिप्रोकल बेसिस। अगर उस कंट्रीज की परफॉर्मेंसेस को देखा जाए, वहाँ के फॉरेन जुरिस्डिक्शन को देखा जाए, देन इंडिया वुड हैव राइट टू इंश्योर कि वो अपने इंसॉल्वेंट को वहाँ से निकाल सके। And it was also not a permanent solution. Present context में expert are of the opinion that this will not provide only permanent solution, it will entering into a separate agreement with countries that is time consuming, involve multiple negotiation. So once we enter into a foreign jurisdiction, we have to also adhere to the rules and norm of that particular country. So inevitably this will call for more and more time consuming and multiple negotiations. The draft framework does not have in heart in the right place. It enables the assistance of foreign courts representative during the insolvency proceeding, जहाँ पे इंडिया और दूसरे कंट्रीज के साथ वाइस वर्सा इस प्रोसीडिंग को रेजोल्यूशंस लाने के लिए मदद की जाएगी. And it also enables the central government to exclude certain classes of entities, those providing critical financial services, चाहे वो banks हो, insurance companies हो, being subjected to cross-border scrutiny, right? So we can say yes, to some extent it can help, but we have to make it more robust, aligned with the foreign jurisdiction so that it can ultimately help the country. Now, under the proposed law, Indian Adjudicating Authority (NCLT) की बात करें, जो कि अभी इंडिया में एकमात्र एजुकेटिंग बॉडी है इस तरह के इश्यूज को देखने के लिए, that is vested with the power to recognize the foreign proceeding, right? And upon the recognition of foreign proceeding in India, NCLT has been vested with the power to impose moratorium to preserve the asset of foreign entity in country. So if you're being asked an examination, NCLT के क्या-क्या power है National Company Law Tribunal के, तो ये भी आप highlight कर सकते हैं. And the proposed rule are very much a work in progress. This is what we can conclude with, right? So this was all about this editorial, a small editorial that also give you an insight that how the adjudication insolvency can work in the foreign jurisdictions. Now moving to the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday questions. For first question, the correct option is C. For second question, the correct option is C. Today's MCQ for practice, OSmart recently seen in news is related to, it aims to regulate use of ocean marine resources, sustainable development, strategic partnership agreement with IEA to promote transparency in jute sector, liquidity risk monitoring tool for stock market. So you have to practice this question and इससे related और भी जो news आपको मिलेंगे उसको भी आप practice जरूर करें. This is important for your prelims examination. Second, International Energy Agency, the World Energy Outlook report is released by IEA annually, and India is not an associate member of IEA. So you have to check. We'll release the correct answer of these questions in tomorrow's session. So this was all about the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQs. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.